have cooked up for this last game, or is it just what we kind of expect, which is they get ran over by a steam train in the fifth
Oh, okay.
game?
Well, that... I don't know, Atlas. I don't know. We have both of us...
Do you know what I wrote down in the script,
together.
by the way? I wrote down in the script that the last game was going to be Xayah Kai'Sa.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking?
Xayah Jinx.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, Gumayusi's going to have to dig deep. I think it's going to have to be the champions that he's kind of shelved a little bit. I think Caitlyn, Jinx, these sorts of things, maybe a cheeky Kalista, Renata type game or something like that could come through. And DK feel the same way, as the Kalista will be taken away here, not wanting to get ran over in the early game, and I don't mind that. By the way, if they ban another champion that starts with Z, it would be very funny.
Oh.
Because it'd be kind of like Faker going for his reboot.
Yeah, instead now it's Zm.
Yeah, and Morgana. What is it?
I don't even know if that's that might be a jungle ban.
Could be
like
a top lane ban as well.
Okay,
Finn's been cooking.
no, it's...
I saw that champion, that match history.
Yes, no, it's...
Yes, no, I don't know, maybe.
No,
Can you repeat the question?
No, mid lane or jungle.
Malcolm in the mid lane?
Because Annie, this to me signals that they want to be on Annie, which is why it gets banned away. I don't know why else the Morgana would be that high on the ban list. Nocturne is up.
But now
Lee
he
is
can
up.
pick LeBlanc.
Xayah Khan is up. Atlas, we need to lock in. It's game 5.
Well, DK, aka D+, are going to be looking to respond to what T1 are picking up here. You saw what I did there, right?
Yes.
I was pretty proud.
No.
Oh, God, the blind Trundle!
I don't get it.
Well, it's to deny Xiu from playing a tank.
Oh yeah,
which is where
don't lock that on, Xiu. I know you're an expert, but don't do it.
Okay.
I cannot. I know Trundle is a strong pick, but I have been an extremely outspoken. I'm like trying to find an angle. Are they expecting to go like Xayah or Khan in the next rotation? They want to play Xayah into Trundle because it's really annoying. Like I'm not sure.
Neither am I, but
I think Lucid just slams Lilia here and is really happy.
Yeah, I think Lilia is absolutely fantastic. We saw him already have a great game on it earlier on. That's a treat. Never mind. My God. Okay, we are playing Ivern Poppy. There's no Tristan, there's no Corki. What is Showmaker going to be playing this game? Draven mid.
Viego.
Viego again? Oh my, wait.
I don't know, Atlas.
That means he could like get a brush set up and then go into his mist. You'd never know where he is. It's got so many ways of being invisible.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's look at where we go from here. There's blind picks for T1. Victor has not been at the forefront of the meta for a while. Doran Necton, that's a pick we can trust. I think that's the first thing I've been just exclusively happy about. No, happy.
Oh, that's, happy?
Yes, I think Doran on Renekton makes complete sense to me. We might see Xiu Gragas as a result, which I think...
Gragas is fantastic with Ivern comps too, actually.
Yes.
Get a lot of disengage in there.
It's full top side. Oh my God, the bot lane pool is... And this is a bigger problem for T1 than I think it will be for
Has Gumayusi secretly been practicing the Nongshim tech? And it's Victor bot.
I don't think
this
it's
is mid lane Jace.
Is it?
Oh, 100%. Well, we are hovering over Xiu and he is conversing.
It is a flex, and this is something that DK has done, what, 2 games in a row now? Pick a third pick, this is a flex. We don't actually know where this goes.
Oh, the Gwen.
We do.
We know where that goes.
Okay, so we are giving Xiu the trust. I think that is a very, very risky call because obviously Renekton's going to have perma-prio into this Gwen.
Yes.
If you get the late game though, Gwen, particularly Xiu's Gwen, with an Ivern shield, that's a big problem, Atlas.
It certainly is, but in the early game, it is also a big problem. But in the other direction, I did like the flexibility of the Jace. I don't necessarily like Jace at the moment. I don't think he's all that strong. So
okay, so we ban Rakan. That makes sense. I don't think we need to ban Xayah.
Yeah, this is the thing. So Gumayusi's champion pool has been attacked, but he does have picks of old that he's been very, very known for.
Caitlyn, Jinx are the big ones.
Jinx, Varus. They're the ones that are left up. Varus isn't as strong as he used to be, but I guarantee Gumayusi could still make it work.
Varus Victor would be a bit of a throwback. Seen that combo a lot.
And the stability that T1 are already representing in this draft is very scary.
They are banning mid lane Jace, by the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Into the Victor here, because they know that most likely with Lucid on the Ivan, they want to try and look for an AD mid.
Oh God, it's a Smolder game. He is gonna...
It actually, yeah, it could, now that you pointed out, it could very well be. We can also see aiming go for Senna. I really don't hope that they go for 3 losing lanes.
No,
although mid lane is a little bit more...
I do feel like the center is a bridge too far, as the Renata is going to be taken away.
Oh, I agree. I also don't like aiming on Senna, but I'm just saying...
Otherwise known as Round Robin has been banned away.
Okay, I was going to say, do you not just pick Jinx on 4 here? Because I think that Jinx actually... Because Xayah loses into Jinx.
True.
I think Jinx, there aren't enough supports that you would actually be threatened.
Oh my... Buffed on this patch.
No. We're not. Let's not get baited by hovers. I want to see what the final plan for DK is here, because I think they pick an AD carry here.
Oh, Tryndamere. I'm ready. I'm ready to get baited by the hovers. Instead, it's the tech he's already shown as he's having a giggle.
Lock it in.
It's Tryndamere! Oh God, no, it's getting too obvious.
Bringing it back!
It's okay.
Atlas. We are going to have a serious chat.
I know.
You know what happens.
I should not expose it. Exactly. It makes my job easier, but I need to also hide that. Yeah, I know. And here's the...
Okay, those are the 2 options.
Well, let's see where he decides to go. Caitlyn, I feel, is a lot more power in the lane, and you can already see that there's a Poppy there. You will not be really challenged, but the Xayah will be locked in.
There is a lot of melees on the enemy team.
Oh, Xayah Blitzcrank? Pyke would be more fun.
Yeah, this is definitely game 5 of Fearless with these drafts, Atlas.
And now aiming's like, what am I? Oh God, the Smolder is gonna get picked.
Yes, of course. Into the Xayah, it's a no-brainer. You have Ivern as well.
Feels like pretty free stacking to me.
Not only that, but the enemy team, outside of like picks with Trundle and Blitzcrank, or specifically playing around Renekton, doesn't have that much early game.
And
I
also,
think you can actually get away with a lot.
Flap is really good into Pillar. It does allow you to get over it.
It's very contingent for me in the mid lane matchup. But I think that DK, the draft to me makes sense, right? You have multiple win conditions when it comes to your early game. I think particularly the Poppy Slam and the Tryndamere pressure in lane. If they don't have pressure in mid lane though, this is like 3 losing lanes and the game just ends. So everything for me hinges on Showmaker. Lucid will have early tempo as well, because particularly Ivan's first clear is insanely fast. I think he needs to use that time. They need to put Faker on the back foot early on.
But I also think that you talk about mid lane, and I think for game tempo, so incredibly important. The top lane could win the game.
Yep. Crocodile could take over.
Yep.
And then until Smolder's stacked up, no one's killing that Crocodile.
Nope. After he's stacked up, obviously, it's going to be a very different story. Not to mention the fact that Undying Rage means if you can't kill them before, like, you're just able to be killed, you're not going to do anything. So if Showmaker's put behind as well, he is just going to be a paperweight. It's not really going to work out. So
oh my God,
certainly could fall over like a stack of cards, a house of cards, sorry. A stack of cards doesn't really worry about falling over because it's just stacked up.
What if you bump into it?
That's a really good point. It depends how high the stack of cards is. We're getting a little bit too far into the weeds of that one. Instead, we want to be getting into this game number 5 to see who is staying in the upper bracket. Is it T1 or DK?
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Onto the Rift for game number 5. DK already in a weird position on the map, but there is a Blitzcrank, so it's always a little bit of a precarious level 1 scenario.
Atlas Showmaker's gone Halo Blades Tryndamere mid.
Oh my God.
She was gone Ignite.
What year is this?
Yeah. Aiming's gone TP, which that one makes sense.
Yep, that's normal.
And they're just invading.
Yeah, I guess that's what we feel like doing.
Do they know? I don't think anyone knows. I think that's just okay.
And
Ship
also,
from
it
the
doesn't
night.
matter in any way. So there we go.
But they will know where Trundle is going to be. The same can't be said for DK. For T1 versus DK. He's just going to spin on him level 1, isn't he? He's going to ghost.
He definitely is. Even his rune basically says spin. As there's the Hail of Blades. That's a lot of value, but still not exactly going to be feeling fantastic in the trade. But he can press Q.
That's the thing, right? Like any health trade, Showmaker has endless sustain. He is not bound by resources. As long as they keep track of Trundle and know where he is, there is no world in which he should ever be threatened by Faker. So any trade he can get is a big deal, as it looks like... I kind of wonder what they want. Oh, there you go.
Was that 2 crits in a row?
Might have been.
I don't think he's supposed to be allowed to do that at this stage of the game.
Lucid will get spotted here, but they also have a ward, and they should know that the Trundle is on its way, and he is level 2. Shield?
Oh my god, he's igniting him! And there's the snip, needs to flash. Does Doran is now feeling a little bit better, but Lucid's moving his way up. This is not what it said on the tin. Doran does get the ward down.
That's the cooldown gone though, but that's Lucid making use of his mid lane prio, and now all you can maybe get is onerous Krugs. And I don't think you want to invade for Krugs as Trundle in this position this early on. Is
well, Barrel's going to be lit on fire as Carrier does find him under the smolder as Aiming has to flash to get himself out of the way of that one. He does sneeze on them. Get some stacks there, but flash down against a Blitzcrank. That is a big deal.
That it is. The optimistic approach is, you know, we're getting stacks.
Yeah.
But not having flash is a very big deal. We might have a bot lane gank and owner trying to show up here in mid.
Yeah, we're going to see that the last time this was played was Showmaker in a victory against Bulldog. That's kind of crazy. He also played it earlier this year, I believe in the LCK Cup. Or was it Casper Cup? Not sure. One of the cups. He played it into a cup. As Victor has not been fantastic here since we got back from MSI and EWC.
He's not been happy. No.
Has found a couple of wins, but not exactly the greatest as... Okay, Carrier had to flash. Chiu is up here snipping.
Thank you, production.
Yep, thank you very much, G-Sum, for that one.
Nicely done here in the picture-in-picture as...
What did
this is not
what
not
did he
what
have
I was
for breakfast?
expecting.
What did he have for breakfast today?
Wait,
like,
there's no flash.
No, what?
There's no flash.
The stun comes through, but he only needs one more. The dash doesn't come. What? And so Shiu just pushes him out of the lane.
2 seconds, by the way. 2 seconds on the dash there for Shiu.
Oh my god.
Oh my
what
god,
are we watching? He's going to have Ignite before Flash is back up for Doran. And is that just kill pressure?
I mean, I didn't think so, but starting to feel like it could be. His owner did actually double scuttle Lucid here. So Lucid has obviously been covering for bot lane, going for invades. We'll be spotting owner there, cancelling his base. And with Smite up, Lucid obviously has the opportunity to go for some very aggressive invades. Doran is TP'd back.
Yeah.
I think he actually has wrapped around. I don't think they know that Lucid is here. The ward has been placed, and I think that Doran is going to try and remain safe. He must know with how aggressive Shiu is playing. But I don't think they can really dive. Ivern isn't really that type of champion.
As Aiming's going to flap away.
But there isn't any camps up, so it's not like Lucid is really wasting any time as of right now.
So far, I would say, with the fact that this is an even game state, it probably is fine for both teams. I think that, like, early game isn't going to matter too much. I think that T1 do really want to take over mid game.
That's the big thing for me. With Trundle and Renekton in particular, you're not looking at like the first 5-6 levels, right? We're talking the first couple of dragons. I think are a really big deal. The earlier you can start dragon stacking against Smolder, the better it is. It's so tense, Atlas. And I know, again, we're playing for a spot in the upper bracket. As there is no flash onto Carrier.
Yeah, Lucid going to be able to find that ward. And Showmaker goes back, buys some upgraded shoes.
And it puts so much pressure, more pressure as well, on Showmaker and Shiu in particular, and even Aiming, who had a really good game 4, after I think having a pretty substandard series before that. Because Lucid, who has been, for many games for DK, both in a positive and negative sense, a really big impact, right? Is now on Ivern, which is just a purely supportive pick.
Yep. As
Then he
Faker,
goes.
yeah, puts down the gravity field. Owner is here
Didn't
in
get
position.
spotted.
Jamaica just going
What's
to be able
still there?
to eat a whole bunch of that red bar. Ignite goes down once again as Shiu does land a lot of this needlework. Dashes forward, stacking up the snips. There it is! And they close the gap. Shiu gets first blood. The man who has done everything for DK in this series, and he comes up massive here in this early game.
And the fact that it gets secured by a flash root from Ivern?
You said that he wasn't going to have the impact.
Okay, my bad. I did playmaking on Ivern. Who would have known? T1, I like this counter punch. Immediately play for Drake, as they should.
Well, Showmaker is just going to be able to dive on top of Faker here.
He is falling behind pretty substantial in CS, though.
Yeah.
But again, we are also going to operate on the assumption that T1 should have a really hard time in late game. I don't think they have great tools of locking down this Smolder.
Not to mention the fact that there's a Gwen in the game.
And this is where you really feel the nerfs to Gwen, right? The delay, the reduced slow is actually a big deal.
It is. He's so calm when he's saying, that was a sick play, Lucid.
Thank you,
really
Lucid.
good job.
That's awesome.
He's so Shiu. It's fantastic.
Remember Paze's first year in the LCK?
Yeah, true. The Paze interviews.
Oh no, she
were
doesn't
they
match
better?
those.
Were they better than or worse than Shiu's?
No. Paze. I don't know if Paze will ever be matched.
That's true.
That man was the king of blue screen.
He really did. He's like, I only see CS.
Yes. I don't think she was quite that level. But more importantly, what this does give DK is a pressure point on the map. Also, these lane swap.
This is working quite well, I think, for DK.
Because so aiming just gets the freely stack. They are unburdened by the Blitzcrank. We do have the grubs up, so I think we are going to see a fight. And this is where I do think that T1 have so much power as...
Yeah, Faker is just going to move into the circle, places a circle of his own. The Venn diagram is large, a lot of inclusivity there.
There is no TP for either, so they shouldn't be able to join.
All right, the setup's there for the Ivern. There's the trigger C. They get the heroic charge as well. And boom goes the Trundle. Mom comes down as well. And Gumayushi's level 6 has the Featherstorm. But I think the weather's looking pretty clear for DK as Doran having to get out of there. Daisy's upset. And DK in a phenomenal position at the start of Game 5.
Yeah, I don't really know how to parse that, Atlas. I'm not gonna lie. We'll see. They're gonna go for the dive on Doran. Showmaker still has ult. He can just take aggro.
Exactly. And Doran is going to be able to press his dominance button, but that is Feats of Warfare secured as Smolder collects the kill. 1-0-1 for the Little Dragon.
And they're getting nothing on the cross map either. I think someone should be able to TP to mid as we take a look. Owner just too far forward, gets rooted. That's the end of it. Barrel slams him into the wall. And I'm not going to fully put that on the fact that we're blinding Trundle, but I really do want to repeat that we shouldn't be blinding Trundle.
Yeah.
I mean, Doran doesn't get to play the video game here, right? As Shiu might be in trouble.
All right, yeah, live, we can see Faker will be able to kill the Gwen.
All right, I take back, they do get the cross map.
There we go.
Shiu goes down.
Little bit delayed, but we got there in the end.
Shiu should not be TPing back. He's still dead, so I figured by the time that he gets up, he shouldn't, but...
In the meantime...
yeah, and also, again...
Every time aiming is hitting Doran with stuff, it's just more stacks.
I want you to answer the question. Outside of a Blitz hook, which should never hit aiming, who kills Ivern with Smolder and Poppy support?
Faker.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Gumayushi.
I mean, if aiming like flaps into...
Doran.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
Doran is currently on 2.
Got it. So maybe not Doran?
I don't know.
Who haven't I said? It's Owner.
Yeah, it's not Trundle. As I do really like this gank. Cross map here is good. They have really secured good vision control there as well, as the Guma ult gets forced by the root from Lucid. And now we have DK sitting on a pretty decent lead. The next dragon for me is going to be the big one, because if T1 is able to get that one, then I think they still are applying a ton of pressure. This composition being behind a little bit of gold is still rough, but don't be mistaken. One hook from Carrier could still turn it around.
Yep.
We also have Doran, who will still be very strong, because he is despite everything, still a Renekton in mid-game, particularly once he hits level 2 on the ultimate, I think is a big deal. But I think you can see with how T1 is playing as well that they have this feeling of the clock ticking and those early kills. What they mostly do is just ensure that there is pressure on the map. DK isn't just getting pushed in, which means that aiming actually gets space.
Oh, Barrel just going in.
Yeah, I love the question mark pings. I'm right there with you, Carrier.
Yeah. Barrel presses Ghost because he can.
But this is very dangerous. You don't want Barrel to be having fun. That can't be right. That's not good, Atlas.
Yeah, and the fact that he's not dead after that play as well is worrying as, man, just one sneeze. And the Smolder is able to do a decent chunk there to Gumayusi.
They're going to have double redemption.
Oh, wow, yeah. Wait, in this meta, is that just, like, key to victory?
I mean, I guess.
Redemption's pretty broken at the moment. As Mom comes down, that is going to attempt to stop the back, but just barely.
That could have been Drake if they get the back cancel there. Now not secured, and aiming actually is down a cooldown. One weakness of Ivern is his objective takes are not great, very slow, and I think T1 should contest this, but Doran isn't here yet. They're going to give this one up. That's so much time. This is just 5 minutes bot for DK if they end up having a bad mid-game fight, which...
We'll have to see what the soul is going to be. We haven't had a Hex Tech today. It's a little bit of a worry. Faker going to move towards this outer turret towards the bottom side. A Showmaker not going to get slowed down by that gravity field too much. And I really have to, like, because it wasn't good setup, was it? Like, it made it sound like I knew. I'm just not. I'm feeling like I'm too obvious these days.
Oh my god, I just figured it out.
Am I getting too old?
No, I just figured it out, Atlas.
What is it?
This has been a whole continuous psyop from you by telling me I'm cursing people to draw away attention from the fact, I was going to say that Showmaker's getting killed, but I think it's fine.
Yeah,
to draw away attention from the fact that you do actually know.
Yeah.
You're aware.
Yeah.
You're a knower.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I can't curse anything because everything is predetermined.
Yep.
And you've just been oh my, they're going to get first turret blood.
Yep, T1 just going to be able to come on over here and grab it.
Ooh, that's going to be a big gold swing.
Could be a decent one.
It'll be a trade, so maybe not too big, but it does mean that they ensure that...
I mean, it's only going to be about 400, 500 or something like that. As this is going to be pulled back as Showmaker going to stop Faker from going home. And Owner is going to turn back up again, so just presses a bunch of buttons, all the ones that he had available to him, and will then back away.
Huh. Doesn't quite end up working out. If Trundle wasn't there, obviously he can go for the kill, but we also had Guma and Carrier roaming over. There's no more turret. So it does make sense that he decides to back off instead, looking to be going for an early stride breaker, as has Doran.
Do you know what's kind of crazy to me?
Okay.
I feel like DK, everything you've said about this composition working so well in the late game is absolutely true. I'm looking at the teams, and T1 is so good at manufacturing winning game states later in the game. DK are the opposite of that statement.
So normally I agree with you, but has that been true today?
Well, no, not really. I just feel like we need history to mean something.
Is Doran in trouble?
Well, yes, he's going to have to flash. Heroic Charge is going to come down, though, as Beryl gets inside that brush. That is the Dominus, but he's taking so much damage. Shiu just gets out those scissors, and down goes the Crocodile. 0-3-0.
And the strategy of focusing Doran, to me, makes sense. I think he's been the best performing member.
I've never seen you this dumbfounded, by the way. I looked over at you just after that play, and you were just, what is happening?
I'm shell-shocked. I really am. As that is another kill going over to Shi, who I think is the best member to get it on.
Well, Gumayusi going to get exhausted here. They wanted another Featherstorm. They will not get it. Carrier going to turn up once again. Hook going to go wide.
So the cross map was top line turret. I think Faker doesn't have enough damage to actually take down the inner. No, definitely doesn't this early in the game. So they get Herald, but they give up the kill. And again, the kill going over to the Gwen, I think, is a really big deal because the tools for T1, they don't have tools of dealing with silent threats. Like, who actually deals with this fed Gwen?
Who deals with the fed Tryndamere if he gets fed?
Oh, it's Tryndamere. I don't know. That's a champion from a very early era of League. I'm sure he's fine, right?
I mean, the problem is
no, I know,
he doesn't do dying.
They're going to get split push to death. I'm aware.
Yeah.
The fact he invests the flash as well makes sense. Trying to get out, but it just means that despite all the healing, the ultimate, The Redemption, there just isn't enough health for Doran. The cross map honestly isn't that great.
The worry is, if this level of control for DK keeps up, they're going to be rewarded with pretty incredible dragons as well. Like, if this was an Ocean Soul that we were looking at, maybe there's a chance for, like, that dragon not to matter, but every moment of the game where you have control, every 5 minutes you're getting rewarded for it, right? Because these Hextech Drakes are so incredibly powerful.
Atlas, this is, and also, like, Doran, laning into Gwen is hell. What about laning into the Tryndamere that just takes away your ID, which again is one of those things that they never revisited because we're like, that's actually, that should be a thing. It's like Wither, you know?
Yeah.
Now, as I say that, Showmaker is just taking a whole lot of damage, but he just exists to be a nuisance in the side lane. That's another one.
He's 2 levels ahead.
The engage for T1 isn't great. It's Blitzcrank Hook and Pillar. So, one of the big counters that we have seen many a time to 1-3-1 is the ability to just start you're playing into Ivern Poppy. Even if you had really good hard engage, it would be annoying.
Yeah.
But you don't.
And Ivern Poppy has been like, it's been a combo for quite some time, right? Yeah. You can like really set things up. Beryl can move them into a position so that the trigger seeds can land. You can get that value.
Now if T1 gets a big fight here, that could be their way back in. I think they really do need to deny this.
Yeah, he was fishing for some stacks, and he just gets punished. It's Owner that locks down the kill, and now Faker trying to get that damage down. Showmaker will turn up, and you cannot be doing that. We have to remember that this is still a composition that's on a tightrope, and now the Rift Herald comes up. The outer turret is taken, and T1, they'll claim a gold lead in this game.
Mid gonna go down as well. Can't get hit by that hook. Flash was up for aiming. That's going to be Dragon. That's going to be mid, inner, and outer. And a colossal gold swing here.
That's a big
one.
Never
mind. They're still going to contest. They're not done.
All right, well, we're teleporting in. Yeah, aiming does have TP. So that might help him as the Rift Herald now just going to be a walking ward. But Beryl comes through, evicts Gumayusi from the fight. Is now Showmaker. Hasn't pressed R yet or anything like that as Doran trying to be a nuisance. Owner will be able to take down the Dragon, but now he's stuck in the pit. The rest of T1 are over the wall. He still has Flash, and he is going to have to use it. And DK unable to stop that Drake from going down, but they do not lose anyone in the process. Still, this game is very close, but T1 showing signs of life now.
That's the moment that T1 needed, though. That was the swing of the tempo vibes. Yeah, he's flopping, but you have Flash. You cannot get caught by that. If you have to use your Flash there, it feels bad.
Yep.
Nicely done by Carrier there as well, obviously, to hit the hook that might end up turning the tide of this game and possibly the very fate of these two teams.
And she back in the side lane once again. And 1-3-1 compositions have gone out of vogue for a reason, right? They are very difficult to maintain.
Yes, they are.
Because if anything goes wrong, like a Smolder getting hit by a hook, you can just get ran down. Before that, though, if you manage to keep your ducks in a row, if you're just wave clearing, staying safe, then your Tryndamere Gwen can just win the game in their lanes by themselves.
Look, at the off of the one play, look at the vision that's there now for T1.
Yeah.
Like, immediately they gain prio. Immediately they choke out all the vision from DK, who are just playing in complete darkness. The fact that they got the Dragon went over to T1 as well, it's a very big deal. Gold lead. Now, obviously, the gold lead for the Trumbull doesn't mean that much as they're here.
This one could be uncomfortable as there is the Featherstorm out. That might be a bridge too far there, Beryl, as he does try to redeem himself, and it does not quite work. As DK now on the run, Daisy getting amongst it as Faker just flashes on top of Lucid. The gravity field is going to stop him, and another hook connects onto the Smolder. And ever since that first hook landed, Showmaker is now fighting against Doran. That's not ever since, but it's a thing that's happening right now as he still has the Undying Rage.
Okay, I don't know about that Flash Doran. That one was a little bit overexcited, but the rest of this...
It's just starting to crumble. Ever since that first mistake, DK had the game with so much control, and now it is just kind of gone as Faker going to walk at Shiu once again. Doran moving over here. Shiu knows it's going to be a real rough time as the gravity field does go down. Beryl here to support though, and Faker just steps a bit too far forward. Doran is definitely dead now as well, as Shiu should be able to chase him down. A little chicken above the head was what Showmaker was offering, but it will be the kill going over to the Gwen. 4-1-0 for the young players. Carrier not able to find that hook, but man, it was close.
And normally I would respond with a very overexcited yell, but I'm gonna undercut it for dramatic effect. That is indeed Rise Group Baby.
That was Rise Group Baby,
this
yes.
whole sequence. As Beryl goes in, I think getting the ult was big. Getting the flash out of Guma might actually end up being a big deal down the line as well. But Carrier gets the hook. And then that flash from Faker here, he is not messing around, which is very funny because 2 minutes later he will be messing around, as we now know. Some foreshadowing there. Carrier finds again the hook on this Smolder. And this is exactly why we said the mid game was relevant. But guys, Renekton doesn't have ult. Faker, you don't have flash. This is a Fed Gwen.
Yeah.
This is like one of the win conditions that DK can actually trust in on the player that is, I think, the only player in the whole team that's been playing well every single game today.
Yep, it's the easiest POM that we could ever give out. However, T1 did get Otacon while that was all happening.
It's a lot of flowers, Atlas.
It absolutely is, 24-7, not bad at all. So they still have a big lead. 183 stacks for aiming, though. Despite the fact that he died twice to a Blitzcrank, he is still going to be very scary. And Otacon, it doesn't matter as much when you have an infinitely scaling execution dragon.
Because of the Drake that T1 got, plus the amount of gold influx, though, I think they're feeling really confident about this next Drake fight, which is what sets up Soul Point. And I think that T1 have shown us that they're able to play towards that Soul win condition very well, in that, especially if they keep as tight of a lid on Vision as they've been able to do thus far, you have a situation where DK cannot afford to give up Dragon. They don't get anything out of it. But if they don't go for it, then T1 gets Soul. If you do go for it, T1 gets Nash.
Yep.
Right? We've seen them set up this exact situation about 1,000,000 times. So we'll have to see what is going to happen here. As highlighted, if anyone on T1 finds aiming, the fight is going to be looking good. And that's got to be the big testing point here. And I don't think DK actually wants to play for this as badly as you would want to for game state reasons. You don't have the stacks onto aiming. That's so much power gone.
Well, Sneeze comes on through here, as Lucid not quite able to land the root. Oh, Hook sidestepped, even with the slow. Pretty important. Aiming could take some notes. The Strybreaker comes down here from Showmaker. Remember, Faker needs to do a lot of work to make sure that this Tryndamere dies, as he hasn't pressed the R button yet, still hasn't pressed, and then just dies. Okay, that was weird. There's another hook. This time, Beryl is going to be able to avoid it. DK looking for some angles. Oh, the feather pull is fantastic. Ona can just run up, but he's not able to put the kennel down in the right position. Shio over to the side. He's very scary, but Lucid taking so much damage. Keeper's verdict is that no victors are allowed in this area, and down will go Daisy.
That's going to be Drake, though, for sure. Showmaker, even with the Hex Gates, I don't know if he can make it back. A Shio?
Oh, man. The needlework doing a fair bit at this point in time, but T1 should be able to get Soul Point off the back of this one. Gold's still very, very close, but that is Otacon, that is Soul Point, and it is feats of strength over to T1. So many things not represented in that number value going in their favor.
So, as we highlight here, I actually really like Faker going for Cosmic Drive. It gives him so much extra movement speed, which we can see him use here. And if Showmaker fully all-ins, maybe he kills him in the 1v1, but he can't. And then there, I thought he was going to sustain back up. Even if he ults, I think he always ends up dying, but he could have stalled for a little bit more, maybe bought his team a position to get something going. The stacks have been hit, though. Well, they haven't, but they will be.
Yeah,
by
one
aiming.
away.
And that is going to be the decider here. Carrier has a couple of great hook targets, mostly aiming, but even Lucid, I think, in a pinch will do. Either of those could set. Now, T1 can play slow. They can also just start Nash, because let's be real, T1 is...
Oh, Hook going to get a flash out, but I don't think that was ever going to hit him.
Nope. Beryl...
Sometimes you just got to make sure. Maybe he's setting an example to his AD carry about flash usage when it comes to Blitzcranks.
I like that you're willing to find the good angle. I appreciate that.
No, that's obviously what it was, you know.
For T1, there might also be a feeling of pressure, given that Smolder has now hit his stacks, and that situation is not going to get better. And yep, It's a T1 Baron, all right.
That's what they're looking for.
But look, they have zero control.
Yeah, there is not a lot of vision opportunities. There's now Faker. Let's see whether this Keeper's Verdict is going to land, and it is going to do so as Beryl gets a big old shield. Heroic charge to try and get him out, but Gumayusi finds the Poppy.
She was there.
Showmaker has to get his way out of there. He flashes away as Daisy going to be going down as well. That's 50 gold in the pocket of Guma.
He got it!
And the hook is going to connect. Down goes the tree. Down goes the Smiter's mom. Is going to try and make a difference here. Shiu is still very scary, but the Baron, it's going down so incredibly quickly, and they just flap their way out. DK, no answers, and T1 take full control here.
And that is going to be the Baron. It's going to be the colossal gold lead. As the attempt to play there from Beryl doesn't quite hit the mark this time around. T1, once they've gotten control, there has been very little that it's felt like DK can do. And the best part of this for T1 is that this is leading directly into that objective. It's directly leading into Soul, and yes, Faker gets taken out, but the rest of the team isn't ready. If Faker's gone and they can actually walk up, it could have been a big moment, but it's not. She wasn't in position. The rest of the team wasn't quite there either. And if you're winning, Blitzcrank feels a hell of a whole lot better.
Oh my god, how did he know?
That's the blind hook. As,
He's a genius as carrier, getting taken down very low. As Owner getting in amongst it, the flash away from Lucid this time around. But he's going to leave Beryl out to dry, and he is definitely dead. Now T1 with Baron and a man advantage. No more split pushing available for Showmaker, as he needs to be back defending. Still, getting some shove in these side lanes going to be important, but as you can see, bounties are up and available. 6,000 gold is the approximate lead.
And at Showmaker is 2 levels down. It will be level 15 after this.
Oh,
He doesn't even get the Wolf. Right, and as I highlighted, Lucid will be on this Ivern. It can't be him doing it. Shiu is doing his part. I think Beryl, it's a tough position, right? He's the one that needs to make the plays. But unfortunately, neither Aiming nor Showmaker in this one thus far has been able to make their mark.
Yeah.
In a positive sense. And we will see if just the idea of this Smolder is going to be enough. The burn is hitting.
I mean, he really does hurt. The problem is they haven't been able to find too much as Beryl goes in once again. Massive AoE, but they haven't finished off the targets. The flash forward from Aiming, that was insane, and not in a good way, as Lucy going to be going down as well. Shiu, can you tidy up the fight? It is now all about you, as Owner is going to get taken down, and Gumayusi holds the Tryndamere in place and says, nope, you're just going to get kited. That is going to be the kill for Faker as well. That's the ace, and that should be the game for T1. It took 5 games, but they remain in the upper bracket, ready for a date with either HLE or with Gen G. But man, they had to work for it today, and at least we got one hell of a series.
And T1 claims their victory. A hard-fought one. I need to vote for POM Atlas.
Yeah, where does that one go?
I mean, I guess it's just, is it Keria? Is it Doran?
Is it
Faker?
Faker? Is it Owner? It might be Gumayusi.
Okay.
It's one of those 5, definitely. I've narrowed it down for you.
I don't think it's Owner. I don't think it's Guma.
I kind of think it's Faker.
I'm gonna I know they're waiting for me, so I'm gonna quickly go over the draft again while you talk.
Okay, I can now talk.
Yeah.
As you can see, T1, I mean, that is the response that I was expecting out of Owner there. As you can see, not exactly going crazy with the celebrations, as there is some work to do. Faker as well, I think, ready for some feedback sessions after that one to make sure that they are ready. There is another thing that we do need to talk about here, as Gumayusi, of course, is, he's a very charismatic guy. He's still going to be celebrating. But the thing is, they weren't in the play-ins. This is a team that has had a fair bit of time off, and I think T1 and Gen G are very similar in the fact that the more they get to play on stage, the better they look. And I don't think T1 are going to look this shaky in their next matchup. That's what I'm expecting
we'll
moving into the next game.
Right, it's one of those things where until we see more series, we can't really know. Has this been DK massively leveling up? I think we can always say that.
Yep.
Particularly in the case of Shiu, who unfortunately wasn't able to bring it through on the Gwen here. And You know, sometimes I feel like what actually wins or loses a game is kind of nebulous. And like, you're like, oh, I kind of wonder, was it this rotation? Was it this base? Was it this one trade?
I think we know exactly
in
what
this
it was
game, it's actually very easy to know what lost him the game, because DK was in full control, pushing side lanes.
It might have been this.
It's this. This is definitely something that's going to show up in feedback for DK, because that was their carry.
And the problem is this has also been, you know, a string of behavior for aiming in their last few series.
We saw it. Yeah, we've seen it on the Ezreal against Nongshim, and despite Shio being as fat as he was, the linchpin of this comp was always going to be the smolder. A lot of faith being put into aiming didn't end up paying out. I think that Faker again showing with these back-to-back plays that he still just doesn't care, and he's just going to make the play. If he thinks it's a good play, the play's going to get made. I'm going to spoil. I had to go for Doran. I know that this game he got bullied around, but I feel like he was the most consistent member on this team. I think a lot of the other players had great moments, but weren't consistently there. Might end up being carry as well, because it was game 5 and he did play Blitz. And his Leona was insane. But I just had to throw it to Doran.
No, I think Doran had a fantastic one. In this one, it's harder to reconcile that, given the fact that the Gwen was so big. But this one was, to me,
they could have just cleared waves there, by the way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A lot of this was just aiming, kind of losing his mind here in this 5th game.
And I'm sure somewhere there's a 2023 KT fan that says, I knew it all along.
Yeah, first time, question mark?
Is it just Wolf?
Well, Showmaker obviously not doing a whole lot of damage to champions.
I mean, we've been going off on aiming, and I think that's fair. The Trendemare also did not hit them. Should have been Viego.
Should have been Viego.
Should not have been Viego. Viego also wouldn't have been
But
good.
It also could have been Smolder mid lane, which would have probably been fine as well. You're not going to stack up quite as quickly, I don't think, but that could have been an angle there. But hindsight is obviously 2020, or at least DK fans wish it was 2020. I thought that joke would hit harder, but it didn't really work, did it?
I don't.
Because 2020 was when they won Worlds.
That's good. You know, that's good. Yeah. But I think it's a little... Yeah.
It wasn't great.
It's fine. It's
Thankfully,
fine.
Most people are kind of zoned out when we're at the score screen. As Carrier will be able to pick it up. Played Blitzcrank in Game 5 and also landed the series-winning hook. And, you know, recency bias aside, still was a very good choice for today.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think the Faker votes also make sense. But when you look at the actual impact from Doran and Carrier were the standouts over the course of the whole series, man, what a lot of takeaways here. T1 looking way shakier than we thought. I think that DK, even though it ended with kind of a classic Game 5 fearless, also looking particularly towards something a lot better than we were expecting coming into today's series. We'll see if they can make a big splash in the lower bracket. But they are now working on a single life.
Exactly.
And, we'll see who they face off there, because there's a bunch of teams that could be it. Could be KT. Probably BNK.
Imagine the BNK rematch in the lower bracket.
Could happen, Atlas.
Oh, man. I'll have to remember then which team is the 6th place team. The problem is the other team's the 7th place team. We haven't sent one of them to Worlds, I don't think. Have we?
No.
I think 6th place is the lowest that we've gone. However, one of them has actually won the whole thing. So can be certainly a scary moment.
Wasn't DRX like 7th or 8th when they... I remember
they were 6th. No. DRX was 6th.
No, but weren't they qualified off of points they got earlier on, but I guess it was them still being 6th.
Yeah, something like that. But now it is time for the interview, so let's throw it on over.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jisun for the post-match interview translation, joined by the POM, Kira, and also Doran on the side of T1. Please welcome them onto the stage. Congratulations on the win, everyone. Thank you very much. It was nail-biter, actually. 5-game series up against D plus Kia, and now you guys are headed to the 2nd round of the playoffs. How do you feel? Well, honestly, I was not expecting a 5-game series. But it was fun. I had a lot of fun. And I'm so relieved that we managed to grab the win in the end. What about you, Doran? Like, imagine I imagine myself us losing the series, and it was gonna be a very tough road for us. I'm so relieved that we managed to get the win. Keria, it's been about 4 months since you last played D plus Kia after, we split it into Legend groups and Rise groups. So how was playing up against them after a while? Yeah, it's been a long time. I've watched them perform in the Rise group, in the play-ins, and I thought to myself, if we happen to have another matchup against D plus Kia, I thought it would be a fun one. But everything is pretty much, it depends on where you're actually playing, because they managed to put up a really good fight up against us. It was a very tough series for us today. I'm being very frank. Well, it was not a best start for T1, dropping the first game. So what was the feedback mainly about? Although we lost the first game, we didn't really think that it was our problem. We just wanted to make sure that we have the better approach to the second game. And Doran, your performance in Jax was so impressive because you managed to do a lot of work in the later phase of the game and team fights. Well, the enemy also locked in Kiana in the jungle role, which is a very successful pick over in the LPL. So was T1 kind of prepared to deal with that champion? I mean, yeah, Kiana is a meta pick over in the LPL. So we did kind of have Kiana in our mind, I thought every team can actually utilize Kiana. So it was not something that we did not expect at all. What about you, Doran? What was your plan going up against Kiana then? I mean, it's irrelevant to the top lane. And owner also wanted to play Kiana, but he didn't get a chance. So I just had a lot of fun watching them play Kiana. It did seem like both teams prepared so much for the playoffs match. D plus Kia, they were on a great form, and also they tried a lot of new strategies. I'm very glad that we secured the win today, but I think T1 has a long way to go yet. I think the main focus for us will be being on the best form and performance. Even Girls Day Yura came down to support T1 in the audience, and it was a 5-gamer. Everyone was sending so much energy and love and support. We had a lot of pocket picks throughout the series, and then Game 5, Keria, your Blitzcrank, was, one of the picks that brought T1 to the victory. After the drafting was completed, what was on your mind? When I was young, first off, I was a big fan of Girls' Day, so thank you, Yura, for coming to support us. And then looking at the enemy's comp, I thought Blitz will be the only way for T1 to find the angle for victory. So I think Blitz was the one, and I think the play was there to actually kind of manage to secure the win. So I'm so glad and relieved that our performance was able to live up to our plan. I think that was the moment that everything was decided. What was going through your mind when you're throwing that hook? As long as I can land my hook, we were pretty sure that we're gonna get a kill onto that Smolder. And then as we can get a push onto the mid lane, I didn't really see an angle where we actually lose the game. And then even when you guys were trying the Baron, you managed to hook Ivern outside of your vision. I mean, when I was using my hook, we didn't really have vision, but prior to that, we saw him moving towards that path. So I was kind of doing some prediction, and then it kind of worked. And then in the last game, Doran, you were playing Renekton into Gwen, and then because you've been popping up throughout the season, it was obvious that the enemies were targeting you so much and you were not having the best day. How was the series today? I mean, I did die a lot in that game. I was not having the best game here. So it is what it is, It happens, and I died a lot, so it was a rough day, but you still have to step up. And I also want to say thank you to the teammates who played so well, so we were able to win the series. Kyria, with this win, you are the second players to hit 400 to win in the LCK. What does it mean to you? Feels amazing for sure. It means that I've been out here for a long time, which makes me feel really proud. I hope I can become the first ever player to accomplish many things. I hope I can be the first ever, the best support, anything possible. Any message over to Kyria, Doran? With some eye contact, maybe? You know, we debuted together. It means a lot. So, congratulations, Kyria, on a new milestone. I hope you can keep up the good work. Now, in the second round of the playoffs, your opponent will be either Genji or Hono Life. How would you like to play out the rest of the playoffs? It feels like we have a bit of a time to prepare for the next match. So based on the games we played today, I hope we can come back with a stronger performance. Anything you would like to say your potential opponent in the next round? Both teams are very, very strong. I can say that for sure. We have a couple days to prepare for the next one. So I think our main focus should be focusing our own performance. As long as we can be on our peak performance, we will be able to beat whoever we're facing. Once again, congratulations on the win today, Kyria and Doran, and that will be the end of the post-match interview, and back to the space. Thank you.